The Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of ECOWAS says the regional organization is still hopeful that Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger will join forces with other West African countries, and this is to fight terror and extremism in West Africa. The three nations have established an alliance of the Sahel region after breaking away from ECOWAS. Ambassador Abdel-Fatau Musah told SABC News in an exclusive interview that ECOWAS is bolstering its capacity to deal with regional challenges.
It's a cause and effect issue, right? One of the key factors that pushed the military to take over power, their main excuse was the cascading insecurity in their regions, right? So which means the whole wave of terrorism, violent extremism, have been an enabler of some of the coups that have happened in the region. And the main difference between the military government that we have today and those they overthrew was them accusing the civilians that they were not able to manage the security situation. But since then, unfortunately, the security situation has been escalating. It is getting worse. So this is the situation where we are. The three member states, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, have left ECOWAS, right? And so that is why this process that we are having right now is so important. ECOWAS Heads of State decided that, listen, we are at a critical juncture in the life of the organization. So it is important to have an introspective analysis of what went right, what went wrong, and how do we move forward. And this is the purpose of this meeting here. ECOWAS, on its part, has already decided about a couple of months ago to activate a standby force, beginning with a counter-terrorism force of 1,650 to be up and running within the next few months in the region with financing and then capabilities being mobilized in our own region, because we know that terrorism is a present and immediate danger to all. So, and we have also, as ECOWAS, left the door open for the member states of these three countries to join the efforts of the central ECOWAS counter-terrorism effort, because the threat is regional. It affects everybody. You can see terrorism already moving toward the coastal countries. So we need a combination of both the Sahelian states and the coastal states in order to make sure that we defeat this cancer of terrorism. So that is the key issue. We are also, as ECOWAS, through third parties and some of our heads of state, engaged in stage diplomatic efforts in order to make sure that the Sahelian states and ECOWAS come together again. And I would want to say one thing which is important. It is that people usually say it is a fight between ECOWAS and the AES countries. No. Many ECOWAS member states maintain very friendly relations with the three countries. You can count Senegal, you can count Ghana, you can count Togo, you can count Sierra Leone, and a number of others. The differences are actually at times bilateral with some countries, and we are also trying to look at how we can, mediate, within them, so that any mistrust and suspicions that exist are dissipated, to pave the way for us to become a 15-member community again.
Well, the issue of resources is quite important. We look at the minerals of the continent. They sometimes lead to security instability and by extension political instability.
Yes.
Is the current leadership within the African Union doing enough to engage regions in terms of charting a way forward on how these mineral resources can be used for peace and prosperity rather than political instability and security instability, leaving the citizens of this continent poorer?
Yeah. Look, the very well-being of our populations, or the absence of it, has been one of the underlying factors, while our young people today, who constitute 60 to 70% of the population, would cheer military takeover. Because you can talk of economic growth without development, you can talk about, we are doing well, meanwhile there is crunching poverty. That is there. So, and today, it is very important to realize that the world has become multipolar with a lot of vectors. We are not dealing with two blocks. We are dealing with maybe two main blocks with a lot of mini blocks in it, which means countries have agency, however small they are. Countries have power, whether soft or even at times hard. They have it, and this is what we have to use. ECOWAS is moving in terms of the process that we are undertaking now. One of the key elements that we want to promote is the idea of the principle of collective bargaining. Collective bargaining under the umbrella of the African Union or the regional economic community, so that our major partners and then the business entities from outside the continent do not go and cut deals with individual member states, which result in lopsided agreements, which result in the degradation of the environmental system. You can see illegal mining, what it has done, and also the illegal mining by the terrorist groups as a source of financing. That is why rethinking the contractual agreements with the extractive industries of the north. That is one, and also combating terrorists and transnational organized crime networks in order, to make sure that we, deprive them of the ability to encroach on the natural resources of the region. So the collective bargaining is one, and then that of fighting those involved in the informal, mining and then illegal mining too. And all this, African Union has a real there are two platforms that I think, as far as ECOWAS is concerned, ECOWAS is still developing its trade liberalization scheme, under which we are bringing our countries together to boost intra-regional cooperation and trade, cooperation in trade and in terms of investment. But we also have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which can be the umbrella, for this collective bargaining at the continental level.